Oh my god, Elon Musk breaks the internet with insane Tesla news at a 5-hour podcast dropped yesterday on 2 different channels, which is just absolutely insane. One on the All In podcast and the other one with Joe Rogan, and a lot of interesting new things and updates about Tesla stuff we gotta talk about. There's a lot of stuff. I'm gonna cover all of it in this video, plus a warning at the end because it's a big deal. Let's just get down to it. Smash that like button and hit subscribe if you haven't already. I'm too excited. Let's go. The first clip here is Elon updating us about Robotaxi and what's going to happen from now till the end of the year in terms of how many of them will be deployed. And if we do a little bit of the math, it gives you an insight what 2026 is going to look like, at least at the first half. Listen to this.
A lot of things that we're learning are just how to manage a fleet. Like, because you've got to write all the fleet management software, right? So yeah. And you've got to write the ride-hailing software. You've got to write, basically, the software that Uber has, you've got to write that software. It's just summoning a robot car instead of a car with a driver. So a lot of the things we're doing, we're scaling up the number of cars to say like, what happens if you have 1,000 cars? Like, so we think probably we'll have 1,000 cars or more in the Bay Area by the end of this year. Probably, I don't know, 500 or more in the greater Austin area.
1,000 by the end of the year in the Bay Area and 500 in Austin. So 1,500 robotaxis in less than 2 months this year. That is insane. And that's the minimum. That's the flippin' minimum. And here's the crazy part. Elon did confirm that they are going to expand robotaxis in the US to 8 to 10 cities. On top of that, safety monitors are only up until 3 months. They're stationed for 3 months when they enter a new city. And after that, there's going to be no one in the flipping vehicles. So with this in mind, with Elon talking about 1,000 in the Bay Area and 500 in Austin, we can do some math here. And let's do the math here just for a second. And let's take Austin example. We're not going to say 1,000 by end of the year. Let's say 500 for Austin. And let's, put that as an example for every other city that Tesla enters, or all the cities. So they mentioned, Elon confirmed that 8 to 10 metropolitan cities are going to be available for robotaxis or deploying robotaxis in those cities by end of this year. That is flippin' insane, right? Now, instead of saying 3 months for the safety drivers, let's say 6 months, right? Mirroring Austin as the worst case scenario, right? So let's say 8 cities, because 2 cities is already Austin and the Bay Area. Those count for the other 2 cities. So the other 8 cities, wherever they could be, let's just do the math for that. So if Austin's gonna be at 500 in end of 6 months, that means the other 8 cities, they could also be at 500 each city by end of June. So if you want to add all those up, that comes down to 4,000 new robotaxis, including Austin and the Bay Area. Add them all together, 5,500 robotaxis at the worst case scenario by end of June, and at the earliest of March of 2026, 5,500 robotaxis. Right now, Waymo has only 2,000. So essentially, Tesla's going to be tripling that by March or June latest next year. And that's if they don't enter any other new cities. And they don't add any to the current ones to Austin and Bay. That is flippin' insane. The timeline, the progress is massive. This means that we could potentially see upwards of 10,000, maybe upwards of 20,000 robotaxis by end of 2026. That is flippin' insane. What else here is insane is that he talks about the Cybercab with the steering wheels and pedals. Take a flippin' listen.
Cybercab is gorgeous. I told you I'd buy 2 of those if you put a steering wheel in them. And there is a big movement online.
We're not putting a steering wheel in.
No steering wheel in them, confirmed. But there's an issue here. I'll get into it after this.
People are begging for it. Why not? Why not let us buy a couple? Just the first ones off the line and drive them. I mean, they look great. It's like the perfect model. You always had a vision for a Model 2, right? Like, isn't it like the perfect Model 2 in addition to being a Cybercab?
Look, the reality is people may think they want to drive their car, but the reality is that they don't. How many times have you been, say, in an Uber or Lyft and you said, you know what, I wish I could take over from the driver. and I wish I could get off my phone and take over from the Uber driver and drive to my destination. How many times have you thought that to yourself?
No, it's quite the opposite.
0.0 times, okay?
Guys, if Tesla ever put a steering wheel and pedal onto the Cybercab and sells it, take my money right now. Dude, that thing is, I just want that car. It's a flippin' Tesla, probably sub 30,000. And I want it. And it's going to be autonomous one day. I make me money one day. I flipping want it. Now, here's the thing, guys. I made a video on how adding a steering wheel and pedal to the Cybercab could take the stock to $1,000 easily. Although Elon just said right now contradicts it. The video right now is for members only and will be uploaded for everyone's tomorrow. But again, there is an issue here. The issue here is that there's a 2,500 limit when it comes to regulations to allow cars to sell without steering wheels and pedal. I go depth in that video on how, with data supporting on why it would be a good idea to sell the car with a steering wheel and pedal, even though the purpose of that car is to be fully autonomous. But I think it would be much better, because think about it, guys. How can Tesla sell millions of these when the limit is, 2,500 or let's say 10,000 if they ever decide to increase it? I mean, there's one way that Tesla can operate them first, show the regulators that, hey, with our Cybercabs and Robotaxi network, here is the data. It's immensely safer. There's already data like that with the full self-driving, by the way, but in this case, without a steering wheel and pedal, here is the data, and it's much better, much safer than human driving. But this would mean that we won't see Cybercabs, millions of them at least, on the road until end of this decade, because Tesla's going to be the only one that's going to be operating them without selling them. And I doubt that Tesla's going to be taking care of and handling millions of Cybercabs on their own. I don't think Tesla wants that. The purpose of the Cybercab is to sell it to us, and we put on in their network. So we are somewhat liable as well. Which, on the other hand, whereas selling one with a portable steering wheel and pedal that can be added to the Robotaxi network right away, doesn't have to wait until there's some approval or when they remove the 2,500 limit, it can start right away and sell millions of these Cybercabs within the next year, 2 or 3. And then when the regulators remove the limit entirely, Tesla is already steps ahead, and customers with Cybercabs can just remove the steering wheel and the pedal. I think this will be a much better idea than Tesla operating 10,000, 20,000 of them only to show regulators. I think there's an opportunity missed here. But hey, this is Tesla. They know better than we do. They know better than we flip and do. So let's see what happens with that. I made a depth video on this. Again, it's for members right now, but will be uploaded tomorrow for everybody. And hear me out. I think most of us here, that if we see the Cybercab with a steering wheel and pedal, I think all of us here will jump on it. And it's going to make Tesla a lot of money. And I think Robotaxis can be a whole lot sooner too in terms of revenue and profits. And we can see the Tesla going to $1,000 per share. Again, it's all in that video. Stay tuned for tomorrow. But Elon Musk breaks the internet talking about the Roadster, because what the heck is even the Roadster?
I think it has a shot at being the most memorable product unveil ever. It has a shot.
And when do you plan on doing this? What's the goal?
Hopefully before the end of the year.
Really?
Yeah.
Before the end of this year? This is, we're
like
almost
in
November
a couple
1st.
months. Hopefully in a couple months. We need to make sure that it works. This is some crazy technology we got in this car. Crazy technology. Crazy.
So different than what was previously announced, and
Yes.
And is that why you haven't released it yet? Because you keep fucking with it?
It has crazy technology.
Okay.
Is it even a car? I'm not sure. It looks like a car. Let's just put it this way. It's crazier than anything James Bond. If you took all the James Bond cars and combined them, it's crazier than that.
He says that it's the most memorable product unveil ever. It's going to be unveiled end of the year, hopefully. Crazy technology. Crazy. Different than previously announced. Is it even a car? Crazier than James Bond cars combined. What the heck is this? Is it a flying car? I don't know. Joe and I were talking about this on a podcast. He was calling this as a flying car right before he made this announcement. So that was a very good prediction from him. Check the video here, the podcast. But man, what the heck is this thing? This is insane news. Is it so fast that it just hovers? But what's the point of going that fast is this even street legal? I know it may have rockets because it's a SpaceX included car. Man, I don't know. I want to see what this thing is. This is insane. This is insane. But guys, there's a warning here that we all have to, take into consideration. If you guys haven't voted, please go vote. Here is Elon Musk talking about his compensation package, and it's pretty darn important.
So my concern for the future, because this, the Tesla thing is it's called sort of compensation, but really it's not about compensation. It's not like I'm going to go out and buy a yacht with it or something. It's just that if I'm going to build up Optimus and have all these robots out there, I need to make sure we do not have a Terminator scenario, and that I can maximize the safety of the robots. But I feel like I need to have something like a 25% vote, which is enough of a vote to have a strong influence, but not so much of a vote that I can't be fired if I go insane. So it's kind of, but my concern would be, creating this army of robots and then being fired for political reasons, because of ISS and Glass Lewis, declined to ISIS and Glass Lewis fire me effectively, or the activists at those firms fire me, even though I've done everything right.
Yeah,
that's my concern.
Yeah,
and then you've got and then I cannot ensure the safety of the robots.
If you don't get that vote, if it doesn't go your way, it looks like it's going to. Would you leave? I mean, is that even in the cards? I heard the board was very concerned about that.
Let's just say I'm not going to build a robot army if I can be easily kicked out by activist investors.
Yeah.
No way.
So if you're one of those guys that says that, oh my God, he just wants more money so he can buy a yacht and a mansion, well, no, that's not his intentions. In fact, Elon has sold all his mansions and he lives in a boxable in SpaceX because he cares more about his goals and moving forward, taking humanity to next levels as we should. So this is not
he's a billionaire bad.
This is not the case. He just wants to make sure that he has enough voting power so he doesn't get ousted by political activists. I mean, we saw with the Delaware case. Some guy with 9 shares and lawyers with bad intent and a corrupt judge. That's what he is fearing. And give him rights. I give him rights. And I want Elon to own as much percentage of Tesla as possible because, again, SpaceX, he owns 50% of that. What bad thing has he done there other than progress humanity to next levels? Rockets, flipping, coming back to Earth, landing themselves on a flipping chopstick and a landing pad and reusable rockets. Like, come on. This is the crazy shit that we want Elon to do with the companies, and that includes Tesla. And that's why I want him to have as many power, as much percentage as he possibly could. Could this be a backfire? Whatever it is, it's better than some douche or some activist coming and taking over, especially with a company that's going to have millions of robots and AGI and program it to teach you guys woke stuff at home. Again, this has a rabbit hole into it, but I don't want any of those guys running the company or having any influence into it. As Elon said, he wants the ensuring the safety of the robots. He wants to make sure that the AGI, the AI is correct. Because this is powerful stuff. This stuff can iRobot stuff, you know what I'm trying to say? And we need someone behind it who is very trustable and things don't go wrong, if you know what I'm trying to say. He doesn't want to give the power to the wrong people, him being ousted. And he says, I quote, "I am not going to build a robot army if I don't get the 25% vote." And this makes sense. I get it. It's too much risk. Now, of course, there's other part of the business that we still get if it doesn't get approved. But I'm 99% sure it's going to get approved. Elon's going to get his 25%, probably more, of his pay package. And the deal is so good, man. I don't know. I mean, imagine 6 to 7x your investment right now. And then he gets his pay. And this milestone he has to do. Like, this is a no-brainer to vote for. If you're voting against it, sell your shares, bro. Move on to another stock. I'm telling you that right now. Sheesh. So that's his warning. He's also came out and said that it's not going to be me running the company after that, because I'm not sure. I'll be there as an advisory, sure, whatever. But me running the company, you can get somebody else. And he has come out and said that. So guys, if you guys haven't voted, go vote right now, because this is very important. I think the most important vote in Tesla's history is this one right here. It's literally the inflection point. The inflection point is right here, right now, in our hands on this vote. And you better do the right thing and vote for it. Joe and I talk about the inflection point right here. It's an insane moment. All right, so check it out with a big bag of popcorn. Subscribe, guys. Become a channel member. stay curious, and what a wild time to be alive. I shall see you guys in the next video. Let's go!